Research Fellow, Ateneo Policy Center. Attorney Michael, magandang umaga po sa inyo, sir. How are you?
Magandang umaga sa iyo, Prof. Ricky, at magandang umaga sa lahat ng nanonood at nakikinig sa programa mo ngayon.
Ayan, sige, salamat. At kami po'y pinaunlakan mo uli ngayong umagang ito para magbigay ng saysay rito sa... So, ikalawang araw na ho tayo ng impeachment trial kahapon. Attorney, unahin ko yung... I think this is very critical, no? Yung isinampang petition ngayon ng ilang abogado sa pangunguna ni Attorney Israelito Torion sa Supreme Court, may kinalaman dun sa issue ng presiding officer. Ano bang tingin mo rito, no? Kasi ang nininilay ko dito, attorney, 'di ba ang core of the matter here, ang issue rito ay yung June 3 na sesyon kung saan naagaw ng dating minority ang majority noong nag-over the bakod si Senador Chis Escudero. Opo, dapat tanda natin 'yon. And then after that event, 'di ba, ang sumunod ay yung pag-amend, no? Yung pag-amend ng Rule 2 ng impeachment procedure na inihain through a resolution ni Senador Mig Zubiri. Na ito nga, yung parang binibigyan ng leeway ang Senado na dapat ay para si Senator Chis Escudero ang magiging presiding officer, something like that. So ano munang tingin mo rito? Will the Supreme Court kasi very urgent manifestation ito with motion. Attorney, pakiano mo nga muna ito sa amin, pakipaliwanag mo, paano natin ito iintindihing petisyon na ito?
Alam mo, Prof. Ricky, hindi kasi yan yung pagkaunawa ko, no, dun sa constitutional question ng mga petitioners, no? But you make a valid point then, no? That's also a constitutional question, pero I think that is the subject matter of the earlier petition of the group, no? Yung question nila yung June 3 quorum. Right? Na kumbaga still pending before the Supreme Court. Na hindi nga nag-issue ng TRO, yun ang big disappointment nila, di ba? Na pinabayaan lang ng Korte Suprema na matuloy yung mga subsequent events. So I maybe that is the one of the constitutional question, pero kasi ang pagkakaintindi ko, if you may allow me,
yes, go. Please go ahead.
Ang constitutional question is meron bang kapangyarihan yung Senado or yung impeachment court to change the presiding officer. Right? Meron bang, kasi pinagbabasihan ko itong ang tingin ko dun sa yung mahabang interpolation ni Senator Cayetano regarding this matter na sinasabi niya, under the Constitution, hindi pwedeng palitan yung presiding officer. Kumbaga, very clear daw na kung halimbawa yung presidente ang na-impeach, dapat Chief Justice. Kapag hindi naman presidente na-impeach, dapat yung Senate President ang presiding officer at hindi dapat ito palitan. So that's another constitutional issue, which I think yun yung ni-raise, no? But for both grounds, Prof. Ricky, unless the Supreme Court issues a TRO, tuloy pa rin. You know, for all intents and purposes, hindi titigil yung impeachment trial. The only reason kung bakit titigil yung impeachment trial is if the Supreme Court issues a TRO and then a preliminary injunction. So, yung debate na yon, yung constitutional debate na yon, that's really essentially a classroom debate.
Totoo.
Because in real life, umuaandar na yung impeachment trial.
Kaya nga kahapon din kausap ko si Attorney Paulo Tamase. Nabanggit ko yung, 'di ba, tumayo nga si former Senate President Soto at sinabing yung sinasabi ni na Senator Alan and Senator Pia ay for research purposes lamang yung sinasabi nilang intent ng framers, di ba? And that's exactly what you're saying din right now, no? Ano lang yan, parang classroom, ano lang yan, talk, no? Discussion. And then ang isa pa, sa kagaya namin mga hindi abogado, Attorney Mike, ang isang curious question sa akin, di ba, parang magkaiba kasi na umaakto yung mga magiging senator judge bilang senador at iba yung time na magiging impeachment court ka na eh. 'Di ba? Kailangan klaruhin 'yun eh. Ngayon, impeachment court na ito. And they are parang bumabalik sila dun sa mga aksyon na sila ay mga senador, no, hindi pa sila naka-robe. Paano 'yun? Paano mo tinitingnan 'yo? Kasi parang kailangan klaruhin din 'yun eh. Between the impeachment court at saka yung mga senador pa sila in Senate session, Attorney Mike.
Alam mo, ganda ng tanong mo, Prof. Ricky, no? And I think very basic yung rule of thumb natin dapat, no? Kapag senator judge sila,
Oo.
essentially they should just keep their mouth shut.
Yun.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Kumbaga, meron presiding officer kumbaga decides on the trial matters, like yung objection.
Yes.
But the rest of them, they should just keep their mouth shut. Pigilan na nila yung sarili nila magsalita. Because every time they open their mouth, they will reveal their partiality.
Yun. Judge ka na eh.
Right?
Oo.
Diba?
Oo.
Now, of course, sabi sa rules of procedure nila, they can ask questions, no? They have 2 minutes each to ask questions. Nasa rules yun nila. So, but they should use that, for a lack of a better term, judiciously.
Oo.
No? Hindi dapat nila ginagamit yon as if nasa session pa sila or they are conducting an inquiry in aid of legislation. So they
Yun.
have to be able to distinguish. And rule of thumb dapat is keep your mouth shut unless you really have to ask something.
Oo.
Kumbaga, meron ka talagang hindi naiintindihan or meron kang hindi narinig o meron kang gustong i-clarify.
Oo. Ayun. Eh di, oo.
Prof. Ricky, can I give an example?
Go ahead. Oo.
So, for example, yung question ni Senator Ontiveros.
Yes.
Right? That question, actually, kung titignan mo, it helps the prosecution eh. Right?
Yeah.
Kasi ang tanong niya basically, 'di ba, sabi niya, ang tanong niya, is the offense impeachable?
Oo.
So basically, ang sinasabi niya sa prosecution, that's what you have to do. You have to show that the offense is impeachable, which a judge will never do.
Yeah.
Kasi that's precisely the job of the prosecution, di ba? Trabaho ng prosecution yun eh. So
Right.
bakit mo sasabihin sa kanila yun, di ba?
Oo.
So it was better for Senator Ontiveros to just keep that in her mind, di ba? Na ito yung dapat ginagawa nila.
Oo.
Kasi nung nagsabi siya nun, nung nagtanong siya nun, right now, everybody, or at least ako, I'm thinking, tinutulungan niya yung prosecution.
Oo.
That is a sort of an indication of partiality.
Yun,
Which
Attorney Mike,
hindi dapat ginagawa nila.
singitan lang kita doon kasi andun ka na rin. Nilista ko nga eh. Sabi ko, ihahabol ko yon. Sa tingin mo, was it because of the senator judge being a non-lawyer? Kasi alam ko naman ay tinitrain sila o nag-orientation sila before that. Or was it because maybe, tayo naman ay nagtitheorize lang, maybe, kasi parang may pagkainip na, alam mo yun, dahil nga non-lawyer, di ba, Attorney Mike, alam mo naman yan, yung methodological procedure sa korte, di ba, naiinip. Pero, ganun ba yun? Kasi ako naman, bilang hindi abogado, at karaniwang mamamayan, to be honest, ang reaksyon ko ay yun. Natumbok, oo nga, kasi umiikot-ikot lang. Oo, pero mali yun. Alam ko din on my mind, ako, yari ka rito, di ba? Kaya nga nag-manifest din yung presiding officer. So sa tingin mo saan nanggagaling yun? Very quickly lang, yung part na yun.
It could be both, no? Dahil they don't have the training, the background sa litigation and law.
Oo.
And also siguro yun nga, yung meron silang the urge to speak dahil politician sila, hindi nila mapigilan.
Oo.
And also, I think the third reason is it's all political theater kasi. No? May mga cameras,
Yes.
merong mga
Oo.
alam nila, maraming nanonood, their supporters are watching. And therefore yung meron talagang compulsion to speak, to perform. Diba? Yan ang nature nila eh.
Oo.
So hindi nila mapigilan yung sinasabi kong rule of thumb na just keep your mouth shut and listen, no? So I think those are the possible reasons kung bakit nagkakaroon ng ganung pagkakataon na nagsasalita sila at lumalabas yung kanilang partiality or incompetence.
Oo. So hindi dito pwedeng i-argue yung laging naririnig na ng mga kababayan natin na ito'y sui generis. Sui generis, it has a life of its own. So hindi siya nagfo-follow talaga strictly ng court of law. Parang ganon. So kasi parang malinaw naman yung sabi mo na senator judge ka eh. So dapat you keep your mouth shut. Ganun pa rin ang tingin mo rito. Hindi mag-a-apply dun yung sui generis principle.
100%, no? Kasi lagi nilang bukang bibig yung rule of law, fairness,
Yeah.
right? Yan yung lagi nilang sinasabi as senator judges. So pangatawan nila yun. And that means they really have to appear impartial.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they can only do that if they keep their mouth shut. Di ba? Kasi
tama.
tuwing nagsasalita sila, tuwing binubukas nila yung bibig nila, lumalabas yung partiality nila. So
Yeah.
for them to appear impartial,
Oo.
they have to keep their mouth shut. Otherwise, they will look na meron silang kinikilig.
Bias. Oo, tama. Alright. Attorney Mike, last part ako dito sa presiding officer issue kasi palagay ko napaka-importante nito eh, no? Kasi pwedeng ba-question, di ba? Kung halimbawang hindi nga, laging ganun eh, paulit-ulit lalabas yung issue yon. Kung, una muna pala, ang daming pwedeng ano eh. Anong tingin mo? Will the Supreme Court act on this? With dun sa very urgent motion? Anong feel mo dyan bilang ikaw eh batikang abogado?
Nahirap pag mag-speculate, Prof. Ricky, no? But
Oo.
kasi umaandar na yung impeachment trial.
Oo.
We're on our third day na. No? So,
Oo.
I think it's possible yung Korte Suprema, they will be pragmatic about this, no? Na issuing a TRO can potentially be explosive.
Oo. Right.
So unless yung arguments ng petitioners are very clear na talagang merong constitutional infirmity na nangyari, the Supreme Court might just let this proceed without issuing a TRO.
Oo, kasi TRO no, tsaka yung status quo ante no, attorney. Okay, last part dito sa presiding. Hindi ko alam, nabasa ko sa yung columnist si Manolo Quezon, columnist ng Inquirer. Parang may sinasabi siya doon na among sa mga at least siguro kilala niyang circles ng mga lawyer. Parang ang feeling nila maling hakbang na piliin ng kasalukuyang Senado si Chis Escudero to preside. Yun ang sinasabi. At parang by optics, kasi yun ang paliwanag niya, Attorney Mike, ito ay impeachment court and court of public opinion. So kahit sa optics, ang sama daw tingnan, that this is the way I understand yung kanyang opinion, ang samang tingnan na meron kang presiding officer there na hindi naman dapat talagang siya maging presiding officer, maybe because of the cases that Cheese is facing. And then you have a Senate President sitting there na parang wala namang ginagawa, no? Nagte-take notes lang para magmukhang busy, no? Parang ang sinasabi niya, the Senate could have chosen, pwede naman dahil nasa kanila nga ang bato ngayon, nasa kanila ang bit kumbaga na pumili. Parang na hinuha ko na sinasabi, bakit hindi nila pinili pa rin since sila yung may poder na pumili ay Supreme Court Chief Justice. Kahit sa konstitusyon ay sinasabing Pangulo lang, pag Pangulo, but yun nga, silent sa VP and other impeachable officials. Pero sinasabi niya, at sa circle daw ito ng mga abogado, I was quoting his friends maybe, yung mga kakilala niya. So, ito ba naano mo rin sa circle mo? Na kumbaga pwedeng piliin din naman ng kasalukuyang Senado yung Supreme Court Chief Justice for the sake really of fairness?
So, 2 points, Prof. Ricky. Yung optics na nandun silang dalawa sa rostrum, I completely agree na that's a very bad look. No?
Okay.
Hindi maganda, particularly for the Senate President, na nandun silang dalawa at mukha lang siyang transcriber, no, instead of the Senate President.
Oo.
In fact, mas maganda na nga na bumaba na lang siya pumunta na lang siya sa baba.
Yeah.
Anyway, Senate President naman siya, Senator Judge din naman siya. Might as well, doon ka na, pumwesto na siya doon sa kasama ng ibang Senator Judges and really just allow Senator Escudero to be the presiding officer. Nandun na siya na yung presiding officer, right?
Right.
So optics-wise, I agree.
Hindi maganda.
Hindi maganda na nandun silang dalawa. Now, as to the point na Chief Justice yung sanang pinili nila, I understand, no? I understand the logic behind it. Na obviously, pwedeng gawin 'yon.
No.
Pwede nilang piliin yung Chief Justice, no? That's very hindi naman very clear, but that's provided by the Constitution, no? Walang prohibition.
Oo.
To be specific for them to do that. Maybe just a small pushback is dahil nga hindi specifically allowed by the Constitution or prohibited by the Constitution, merong kailangan pumayag yung Chief Justice.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Kasi this is an option It's in a way parang hindi ito mandated, no? Kasi hindi naman president yung na-impeach.
Oo.
So this is optional on the part of the Chief Justice.
Oo.
So kung halimbawa sabihin nila na sige, we will choose the Chief Justice. What if the Chief Justice says, ayoko?
No.
Right? Because he can. He can refuse. No? Na sabihin niya, I respect the separation of powers. I respect the independence of the Senate. And of course, the independence of the Supreme Court. No? Na hiwalay tayo. So, that's really just my concern there na kapag pinili nila yung Chief Justice, it's going to be optional on his part, no? And what if he refuses? No? So while I can understand the logic na siya, we also have to consider that side na this is optional on his part. So kailangan i-factor in din yung consideration na yun.
At babalik pa rin dun sa usapin ng sino nga kung sakaling mag-refuse ang nakaupong Chief Justice. Pero yun nga, at least nakuha namin din sa'yo, it's possible. Kasi nga kung ibibigay mo sa Senado yung pagkakataon, sila talaga yung parang binibigay na, di ba, ng konstitusyon sa Senado as an impeachment court, no? Ang diskarte kung paano even sa pagpili nga ng presiding officer. Anyway, sige po. Now, puntahan natin yung mismong yung trial proper kahapon, Attorney Mike, no? Do you expect this to happen doon sa batuhan? Grabe, doon sa ilang bang minuto yon, more than a minute, pero mahigit 4 na oras ang pinag-debatehan para lang ma-play. Buo o minuto lang ba? And then the defense, para din ako nanonood ng courtroom, no? Na parang sa isang karaniwan tao, parang talagang matindi ang pagharang na ito'y maipakita. Ikaw, paano mo yun binasa, Attorney Mike?
Matatawa ka sa sagot ko sa'yo, Prof. Ricky, no? Like I said earlier, it's all political theater, no? Parang Hollywood courtroom drama, no? Alam mo, the reality is, in a real court of law, siguro 30 minutes tapos yan Kasi yung dalawang abogado will just stipulate all the time. Stipulate. Tapos na lahat in 30 minutes, no? And everything ultimately will be done in writing, no? Yung mga objection, yung mga ganon. So kahapon na nag-stretch siya to 4 hours, that is all about political theater, all about performing to your respective audience. No? So yung prosecution, particularly yung private prosecutor na ang galing, no? Galing ng kanyang performance, no? So meron siyang tina-target na audience sa kanyang performance. And so did the defense counsel, no? Ang target audience niya ay si Vice President Duterte herself. Kasi yun yung kliyente nila eh. And defense counsel, contrary to what others may think, actually did a good job for his client. So, ang masasabi, I'm sure many other lawyers will say, nasulit yung bayad sa kanya. Right? Kasi he really tried his best, and the only strategy that they could employ, which is delay or object, yun lang ang kanyang pwedeng magawa eh. And he did it quite well, no? Kahit na ba sa mata ng iba, obstructionist siya or hindi siya kumbaga one-sided yung kanya, but that's his job eh.
Tama.
That's the only thing he can do. So meron siyang pine-performan na audience, and that audience is Vice President Duterte, and I think napatunayan niya kay Vice President Duterte na ginagawa niya yung trabaho niya for her.
Siguro enjoy sa statement mo yung mga akademiko kasi the political theater of impeachment, no? Anyway, pangatlong araw pa lang naman ngayon, Attorney Michael, no, ang impeachment. But do you see this parang magpapatuloy sa mga susunod na araw? Kasi nga napaka-ano nito, high profile nito. At yung iba pang mga, isang ano pa lang nag-uumpisa pa lang tayo sa Article 4. Do you expect this to happen sa mga susunod na pa rin? Or paano kaya ito? Hindi kaya ito ititame ng impeachment court? Yung ganyang klaseng teatro?
Absolutely not, Prof. Ricky, no? 100% itong fireworks, drama, yung theatrics, that's going to continue, no? Kasi even the senator judges are performing to an audience, no?
Right.
They are performing their way to 2028. So gusto rin nila yung ganitong drama, no? Because you can just imagine na yung airtime, free airtime, talagang magbe-benefit sila, right? So in the next coming days, yung next trial days, we should expect more of this rather than less. Ang dapat sigurong aabangan natin, and I'm sure ikaw, Prof. Ricky, you're probably know better about this than me, is magsasawa ba yung tao?
Yun.
Dadating ba yung punto na magsasawa na yung tao sa puro drama, pare-parehong theatrics, pare-parehong mga banat, counter banat. Right?
Tama ka.
Yun ang magandang pag-isipan, Kailan darating 'yon, at kung darating man 'yon na yung tao na mismo ang maaasiwa sa napapanood nilang mga palabas.
Or magi-enjoy ba sila ng magi-enjoy? Kasi para ka lang, kaya nga sa Netflix, sinimulan natin ito na. Pang ilang season na ba to? Pang-4? Pangatlong season. The trial mismo. Anyway, one final point lang, no? Gusto ko lang mahingi yung thoughts mo rito. Andito ka na rin, Attorney Mike. Nagtataka ako, since the start, no? This is on the defense. Wala silang ginagamit na strategy of appealing to pinalutang mo na rin naman yung political theater, no? Yung appealing to emotion, yung naratibo ng taong bayan, talagang defense lang sila As in defense na nakatago sa technicalities ng batas. And knowing, ang tatalino ng mga to, I don't know kung may nag-a-advise, parang talaga ba? Or are they banking on the reality na ang taas-taas pa rin ang rating ng Vice President? Political ito sabi mo nga Anong thoughts mo doon? The lawyers are very stiff. They really sa tingin ko they stick to the law. and procedure. Samantalang itong kabila, they appeal sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Even yung, kaya nga 'di ba kahit yung manifestation, binabaril nung kabila na hindi naman yan storya yan eh, hindi hindi yan ebidensya. Anong thoughts mo doon? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, kasi they don't need to. They don't need to appeal to the broader masses eh.
Okay.
Kasi ang kliyente nila ang pinaka-importante dito eh.
Alright.
Si Vice President Duterte. Tandaan mo, Prof. Ricky, yung professional fee nila hindi naman binabayaran ng taxpayers yun eh.
Sa bagay.
At least not
Oo.
at least not directly.
Right,
You know,
right.
ang nagbabayad ng PF nila, yung kliyente nila.
Right,
So
right.
they have to satisfy the client, no? And the only way that they can do that is, to stick to the technicalities. No?
Yeah.
And I think one reason din, Prof. Ricky, if you may allow me, is meron kasi silang alas yung defense. Meron silang alas. And that is yung voting threshold for conviction na 11.
Right.
Because it is fixed, at least for the meantime, it is fixed at 16.
Oo.
We all know na hindi maaabot yun eh.
Oo.
Right?
Yeah.
The reality is, yung 16 na yon is unattainable for the moment. No?
Oo.
So, they don't need to panic. They don't need to go through extraordinary measures. Like, arguably, yun ang ginagawa ng prosecution. Kasi, at the end of the day, at the end of the trial, hindi pa rin maaabot yung 16.
Butuhan pa rin at the end. Oo.
At hindi maaabot yung 16.
At hindi maabot.
Ang hirap abutin ng, kasi they have 9.
Oo.
They have 9 senators na lagi na lang sinasabi, suportado nila si Vice President Duterte.
Oo. At
So, that's probably one of the reasons why na
kampante.
stiff sila or chill lang sila, very rigid yung approach nila because meron silang alas eh.
Tama.
And yung alas nila is conviction is almost unattainable
Oo.
because of the voting threshold of 16.
Ayun. So, ayun. As always, klaro, malinaw. Ready na ulit tayo para sa third day.
Thank you!
Sa political theater. Attorney Michael, as always 92 days ito. Posible pa raw matagdagan dahil hindi nasunod yung one witness per day. So at saka yung oras. So pwede pa daw madagdagan pa. So salamat at sa susunod, Attorney Michael. Salamat po. Buhay ka.
Maraming salamat din.
Thank you, sir. Attorney Michael Yusinko, Political Analyst, Senior Research Fellow at Ateneo Policy Center.
Straight to the point.